Hello, my name's Gary. Welcome back to FYPC. It's my YouTube channel about my prostate cancer experience. And what we're going to talk about today is the results of your MRI scan, if you've had one. So I'd been through the initial stage, which was to have the PSA test, which was an elevated number. I'd had the digital rectal examination a couple of times, and the recommendation from those had been let's go and have an MRI scan. And there's a video elsewhere on the channel that explains what that MRI scan process was like. But what I want to focus on now is, here we are with this report from the doctor, which has come through. I've got a letter here that I received, and I want to talk about how they explained it. It'll pop up on screen soon so you can see the detail. But let's go through it. So let's have a look at the bottom half of this letter. The clinic date, 4th of May 2022, so just over a year ago. I was 58 at the time. And then we start to see some interesting things in here that we've not talked about. I've not talked about with the doctor at any point. Performance status, 0. Right, sounds like a bad mark, doesn't it? But this is a scale. I think it's 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4, and it talks about your ability to go about the activities of daily life. So for me it's 0 because at that point I was completely unaffected by prostate cancer. I didn't even know I had it at that point, and I had no symptoms of anything to do with it. So I was just going about my normal daily life. If it was a 4, then that means you're bedridden. So that's obviously a much more serious end of the scale. Then we could see on the letter the 3 PSA, prostate specific antigen levels that I'd had. So the first one from the NHS health check, 10.76. A second one just to make sure it was okay. Oh, that's 10.81. So that's confirmed as well above 3, which is considered to be normal in the UK. And then the current PSA, which is the one that was done just before the MRI scan, again a little bit higher still, 13.99. And then we start to get into the gobbledygook part of it here. So we've got the IPSS. Now the IPSS is the International Prostate Symptom Scale. Let me just check that I've got that right. Yeah, symptom scale. And it's 7 questions. Each one of them scored from 1 to 5. So your maximum score would be 35. And these questions are all about your urinary habits. So how often you go, whether there's any restrictions, you get up in the middle of the night, is the flow normal, does it dribble a bit afterwards, all those kind of questions. And as you can see, I've got an IPSS score here of 4 because I'm ticking no, everything's fine, everything's fine, everything's fine, all good. So at this point there's no clue in there that I'm having any impact from the prostate cancer. The next score you can see there is the QOL 0. This is the quality of life score, and that's one question at the bottom of that first questionnaire, and it says if you had to carry on living the rest of your life with these symptoms, how happy would you be? And my score is 0, which is very happy, but there are others which would say going up to 5, in which you would be clearly saying no, this wouldn't be great if I had to live like this for the rest of my life. So again, at this stage I'm pretty normal. There's nothing going on. I can't feel anything. I can't see anything. I'm not noticing any difference. We are in the very, very early stages. So then we get no family history of prostate cancer. So of course that's a risk factor, as we heard about in previous videos. And then we've got the digital rectal examination findings. 2 of those I had. Notice how I adjusted my seat there when... Right side appeared firmer than left side, said the nurse. So this is Carol, who's probably felt 1,000 prostates, and she had determined that the right side was a little bit firmer than the left. So in the fast track management plan, the discussion they'd had amongst the team, the recommendation was to have the MRI scan. So just like the last video, we went off and did the MRI scan. I explained that all to you, and this is the point where we find out exactly what is going on from that scan. So MRI, prostate volume 33 millilitres. Well, 33 millilitres is about the size of a ping pong ball, so quite normal. I think the range, let me just check the notes, for men between 50 and 80 the average is 24 to 38 millilitres. So you know, I'm in the middle-ish of that sort of range at 33. The next thing on that list you can see there is PSAD. This is the PSA density, the density of the prostate-specific antigen. And this is a bit of just plain mathematics. All they've done is they've taken the PSA test level of 10.81 and they've divided that by the prostate volume, 33 millilitres, to give an idea of the density within the prostate of the PSA. And again, this is a score that I'm not sure about the outer limits of this score, but once it gets above about 0.13, then this is a indication that there's quite a density of PSA, and that you should go on to have a biopsy. So that's the PSA density score, and now we've got the PI-RADS score. Right, so this is the prostate imaging reporting and data system. Again, just a common standard that's used by urologists and oncologists. And we have can't even say it now, PI-RADS 4 lesion. So this scale is 0 to 5. 0 means it's most likely not cancer. 5 means it's highly suspicious. So getting a 4, there's a high risk that this thing that they've spotted is a cancer, and therefore, again, biopsies would be requested. Because now that the imaging has done its job and proven that there's a lesion there on the prostate, the next thing to do is to get into the prostate and find out what that lesion is. So biopsy is requested, and then the bottom two things, biopsy and MDT outcome. We'll talk about those next when I get the next letter, which is some of those things are filled in. So that's your MRI scan results. Hope that was useful. Yours might be different. These are genuinely my results, but I just wanted to demystify those a little bit for you, because you know, I'm looking at that when I got it thinking, no one's talked to me about that. No one's told me what these things mean. I don't know whether I should be worried. And you know, the internet's a really dangerous place to go when you start to do this kind of stuff. Said the man who's making a channel on the internet to help people out. Looks great to have you along watching the video. Subscribe and hit the bell, because there will be one every week. I'm demystifying prostate cancer journey, I hope, for you by telling you what my journey was like. Keep watching, and I'll see you next time.